up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Norah and thank you so much for watching. Before we jump into today's video, be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Follow your girl on Instagram because you already know we're growing the family across all platforms. So for today's video, we are back with another kind of like fashion content focused video for y'all today. And I will say this is gonna be a little bit different. I've never filmed. Yeah, I don't think I've ever done a video like this on my channel, and I got the inspo from TikTok. I saw all the fashion girlies on TikTok making different like fall, winter, luxury wish lists, and I thought that was really cute and a fun idea. I feel like sometimes we think just because we're getting older that we can't have wish lists anymore. Like, remember as kids, you had a wish list, things that you would love, you would put together your Christmas list, and granted, some of the things you knew on there were absolutely outlandish, but it was just fun to kind of aspire to something and just like get super excited about items. And I will say for me, you know, the older that I've gotten, I've been fortunate enough to, you know, making a little bit more coin, making a little bit more money. So I can definitely invest in some nicer items and nicer pieces. Now, disclaimer, which I hate that you have to do this on YouTube anyways, but even me saying all of this, there's probably still gonna be some folks out there who feel some type of way. This video is by no means saying that, you know, in order for you to be fashionable and in style and in season and on trend, whatever, I'm not saying that your items have to be luxury items. I'm not saying you only have to shop luxury. I have always been a lover of fashion. I have always been a lover of luxury goods. But frankly speaking, it wasn't always within reach. And honestly, some of these items still really ain't in reach, but that's why it's called a wish list. I think it's still fun to kind of, you know, peruse the, you know, fashion magazines, the websites, the blogs, and just kind of see what's dope out there, what you would love to add to your closet. And I figured some of you, you know, out there might be lovers of luxury items as well. And maybe you want to pick up some of these things and maybe you've been eyeing them, or maybe they're just gonna be fun little like items you can add to your wish list as well. So that long drawn out intro of me feeling like I have to explain myself, which I don't know why, but nevertheless, we did it. I'm excited for the video. Hopefully you all enjoy it, and let's jump right in. All right, so y'all already know I got my handy dandy trusty cell phone over here because I've been probably working on this list for honestly a couple months, and probably even before I realized I was going to film this video. In no particular order, honestly. Like, I think I tried to keep them within like categories for the most part. You will hear a couple different items from like the same brand. I definitely have some of my favorites. So starting us off, I wanted to talk about Jacquemus and Jacquemus bags in particular. Now, I love Jacquemus. I have a couple different items, like clothing items and accessories within my collection and wardrobe. And I've always been interested in their bags, but I just wasn't sure like how practical, like some of like the super small, I think they have like the moyen size, which is like their medium size. They have their little like chiquito bags. I wasn't sure how practical that was gonna be for me, and there never was really one style, color that stuck out to me, but let me tell y'all, okay, I am obsessed with all things fuzzy, furry, Sherpa, boucle kind of inspired. Listen, I know for some people they think this is super trendy. It's definitely a trend, but I think it's gonna be around for a little bit longer. Definitely something that I'm into, and when I saw this Jacquemus bag, I knew I needed to have it. Now, I haven't purchased it yet, again, hence why this is my wish list item, but I just think this bag is absolutely stunning. And as always, obviously this is not like a try on collective haul type of video, so I will put pictures here on the screen for you all to see what the hell I'm talking about. But she's just so cute. She is absolutely gorgeous. And I actually had the opportunity to see this bag in person. I was in Atlanta and I had an opportunity to stop into Antidote, and they had a great collection in there of just like different bag options. And they actually had this bag on display in this like chocolate, I don't even know if you really call it chocolate. It's like a caramel, chocolatey brown bag, and I fell in love. The texture, the size of the bag is perfect for me. I do have some smaller purses, but some of the Jacquemus ones are just a little bit too small for my practical lifestyle. But this bag was the perfect size. I love the color. It does come in other colors as well, but this particular brown definitely stuck out to me the most, and I absolutely loved it. Now, continuing on with Jacquemus, I've also been really looking into investing into just like a nice scarf. And I know for some people, you're probably like, what, a scarf? Who the hell cares? Well, for one, I live in Boston. I live on the East Coast. It does get cold. And unfortunately, most of the year here in Boston is cold. So like, I'm gonna get a lot of use out of a scarf. Now, I'm sure a lot of you have seen some of these like branded logo scarves. I know Balenciaga has done them, Bottega has done them. I know Fendi, most of all the girlies have done them. But this Jacquemus one in particular jumped out to me. Again, I really like Jacquemus's logo. It's pretty chic to me. It's not too loud, even though I know for some people having a scarf that has a massive logo on it, it's probably loud in itself, but it's not too loud, it's not too out there. And I am someone, granted I'm wearing this skim shirt today in this color, but a lot of my wardrobe is pretty neutral. Again, I know for some people they're gonna be like, $200 for a scarf is not affordable, but when you're talking luxury, high-end fashion, that's actually not that bad. I know some of the other brands, theirs goes upwards of, you know, $350, $400 plus in terms of price. So I feel like Jacquemus isn't too bad. It's a really good kind of like starter pack. Again, $200 is not a starter by any means, but you know what I mean. It's nothing too bad in my humble opinion. Next item on my wish list is actually a belt, and it is the Celine Triomphe belt. I love this belt. Now, I will say, I know when the Gucci, kind of like Gucci logo belt came out, that was all the rage. I loved that belt. But I feel like it's a little bit too out there for me, and stick with me here. I sometimes like logos that are a little bit more understated on certain items. Now, obviously, like I said, my scarf, you know, would say Jacquemus pretty large, but I, for the most part, will only be really wearing that when it's, you know, colder, you know, to and from places. But something like a belt that I would be wearing pretty often throughout the year. I don't always necessarily want like a super large logo that's like very noticeable. Sometimes I do want something that like when you see it, you know immediately, but sometimes I want a little bit more of like a, if you know, you know. And I feel like the Celine Triomphe belt is kind of like a perfect combination of that. Now, if you're someone who, again, really follows a lot of, you know, luxury pieces, if you're a lover of Celine, you would definitely recognize this logo and kind of like the Celine emblem on the belt. But for a lot of folks who don't really pay attention, you wouldn't really know. And that's something that I love. And I just think it's a really classic look. You know, it doesn't necessarily have too many like distracting things on it. I love it in the classic black with just the gold Triumph kind of like emblem on the front. But I think it's gorgeous. I think it's a really good investment piece. I have definitely found myself looking for belts a lot more often, but a lot of the ones that I have are pretty crappy. They're falling apart, not great quality. So I felt like this one from Celine would definitely be a really good item to add to my collection. Again, do you need to spend this kind of money on a belt? Definitely not. But if you are someone who feels like this is something that you would use a lot in your wardrobe, and again, you don't want something that's super out there, like maybe the Saint Laurent or the Gucci belt, I feel like the Celine one is a really good option. This next wish list item is actually from LOEWE. Now, let me tell y'all, I honestly could have dedicated this entire video to LOEWE on their own because they have just been crushing it. Everything from bags to their accessories, clothing, ready to wear pieces, their shoes. I don't know, I'm a LOEWE fan. I don't own anything in particular in my own collection and wardrobe, but there are a lot of items that honestly could have been on this wish list, but there was one in particular that I definitely wanted to mention, and it was the LOEWE Anagram mohair sweater that they have. Now, there are a couple different options that I've been looking at. There are a couple different ones that I've seen, and again, I'll have them here on screen. But in particular, I would just say kind of overall, a LOEWE Anagram mohair sweater. So mohair is just the material that the sweater is made out of, and then anagram is just referring to kind of their logo on the chest. Again, with LOEWE, what I love about it is it very much is one of those brands where it's like, if you know, you know. They do have some items that really just like spells out LOEWE on it, but again, the anagram pieces really just have that LOEWE logo on it, which I think is really classic. I think it's chic. I think it's a little bit different just with the way like it kind of twists and turns. As I was saying, something I really love about their logo is that I do feel like it's simple and chic, but it is kind of like detailed and intricate at the same time. I don't know, it's just something about the way that the LOEWE logo looks. I think it's really nice. And again, the fact that it doesn't just say LOEWE across the sweater, I like that it's one of those like, if you know, you know. And I know I keep repeating that, but that's kind of sometimes what I'm into. Sometimes I am into logomania and I want it to just like be splattered all over the item. Sometimes I don't, and that's what I really love about this sweater. I love the oversized fit. I think this is gonna be something that, you know, might be a little bit trendy right now, but you will for sure be able to keep this through your wardrobe for many years to come. For my next item, I wanted to mention the Jill Sander turtleneck. And I know, I'm laughing even to myself because again, I know there are some folks who are gonna be like, turtleneck girl? A turtleneck. We are talking about a luxury wish list and you are putting a turtleneck on here. Again, for me, especially if I'm spending this kind of money on items, they have to be things that make sense to my closet. They have to be things that I know I'm going to get a lot of wear out of. And I am one of the girlies that I'm gonna wear my things over and over. I will repeat items because obviously I love them and that's why I bought them. And if I'm spending this kind of money, I'm wearing these items over and over again. So the Jill Sander turtleneck honestly is very similar, I would say, to kind of my Yeezy Gap Balenciaga long sleeve that I have, kind of that same like second skin feel. And if you've watched me for a while, follow me on Instagram, you know those are items that I love and I do wear a lot in my wardrobe. And again, as I'm starting to invest a little bit more into quality pieces, I wanna make sure that the items that I'm going to be wearing into the ground and washing them over and over again, dry cleaning them over and over again, will stand up through all of that. And the Jill Sander turtleneck I think is absolutely stunning. It's really chic, super simple, and it's so versatile that you can do a lot with it. You can dress these up, you can dress these down. It's not too thick that it's perfect for a layering piece. I love it in this black color with just the white logo on it. Really easy for me to pair it with a lot of different items in my closet. And again, the quality is fantastic. A lot of these items, granted, I do not own them. I have seen them in person. I'm really big on trying to go in store and seeing if I can find them, feeling the material. And then even if I can't, I learned this tip from my cousin Jeff. I know I mentioned him a lot on this channel, especially when I'm talking about fashion, but really big into reading the labels, you know, reading the labels, reading the composition of these items and making sure it makes sense, you know, what these companies are charging. Obviously, there are some things that even me, I'm a lover of luxury items, but I look at what these companies are charging for like a white tank top and I'm like, baby, cut it out. Cut it out, okay? So I really like to make sure that I am reading the labels and it makes sense that what I'm paying for, and I will say the quality is definitely there. Jill Sander does not skimp out on quality at all. So this next item should come as no surprise. Again, if you follow me here on YouTube, on Instagram, talk to me in person, I have talked about these cargo pants. Even me just saying that. Pause the video real quick, comment down below, let me know if you know what clothing item I'm about to mention right now. Okay, good. It's the Attico cargo pants, baby. I don't know what it is. Actually, I know exactly what it is, okay? I know exactly what it is about these pants. Just the oversized, baggy look, the kind of, it's almost like a distressed acid wash kind of color. The silver, just kind of hardware that's like heavy duty all around them. But then the way that they still come in at the waist really nicely and flatters the body, I just think it is the perfect contrast of like utility streetwear meets sexy chic. And I know for some people you might not see that, but I think these cargo pants are stunning. I was going back and forth for so long, even before adding this to my wish list, like, okay, I know cargo pants are super trendy right now. I know it's kind of all the rage. These Attico pants themselves are super trendy. There are a ton of dupes out there from like fast fashion brands, some other, you know, like mid-tier brands as well. And I just was like, okay, maybe we'll just buy one of those. But y'all, even when I would go and order from other companies that had dupes or like look for less, I still found myself being gravitated to the pair from Attico. And I think that's why a lot of times you'll see folks who say, you know, investing in those luxury items makes sense, because no matter how many times you do get, you know, the look for less or the dupe, don't get me wrong, I done seen some dupes out there that I'm like, baby, you might even be better than the real thing. But sometimes the real thing really just hits different, and the Attico ones just do it for me every time. I'm keeping them on my wish list. Honestly, I think I am just going to bite the bullet and purchase them because they've been on my mind. They've been on my mind for so long, and no matter how many times I look at different options, I still keep going back to those same pants. And I think Attico just crushed it. And I think honestly, of all these items, I'm not pulling the trigger on all of them because your girl ain't rolling in dough like that. We still got bills to pay, we still gotta be responsible. But of all the items I think I'm mentioning today, the Attico cargo pants are definitely ones I think I'm purchasing. All right, now moving into some outerwear. I know obviously we're focusing on fall and winter fashion, so there have definitely been some outerwear pieces that I have been looking at. The first item that I wanted to mention is actually from Acne Studios. I have never purchased anything from Acne Studios, but I have seen a ton of items from them, have always been super interested in their items. And in particular, I will say their moto jacket. Acne Studios, I feel like they're really known for their moto jacket. They come out with the same style every year. It is classic. If you are someone who definitely is big into, again, capsule wardrobes, purchasing items that you know are going to last long in your closet, I feel like the Acne Studios moto jacket is a great investment. I know not everyone likes like the moto, you know, heavy buckles and a lot of the big zippers. I love that look. I like to contrast. I like to style things and sometimes keep it like an all edgy look. And sometimes I like the juxtaposition too. So I like the fact that it's a jacket that's a little bit edgier, and if I wanted to mix it with some, you know, more feminine, elevated chic pieces, I could definitely do that. So the Acne Studios moto jacket is definitely one on my luxury wish list. For my next kind of like outerwear piece, this is a recent ad, okay? This is a recent ad, and I will say I definitely got influenced by a couple of the girls here on YouTube. I have seen Janae from High Low Luxe feature this jacket. I have seen Jeronica Mycia. She has styled it a couple times. Most recently, I saw Kyra here on YouTube as well, shopping and looking at this jacket. And it is the Teddy jacket from Saint Laurent. Now, I have a lot of different things from Saint Laurent, but mainly I would say a lot of their SLGs, small leather goods. And I have purchased a lot of like accessories, mugs, other little like tchotchkes, but I really, really like Saint Laurent. I love their logo. I love just like the sleek design of a lot of their items. And when I saw this Teddy jacket, I fell in love immediately. This is a really good take on kind of like the athletic Letterman bomber jacket without the massive letter on it, you know, without a lot of the crazy logos on it that sometimes doesn't always work for every look. And don't get me wrong, I love a good Letterman bomber jacket, but sometimes I think it makes it a little bit more street than I want for all of my looks, but I do still want kind of like the casual look of the bomber Letterman jacket as well, if that makes sense. So I really gravitated to this Saint Laurent jacket, and that's why I wanted to add it onto my luxury wish list, because I think this is something I would get a lot of use out of. I'm going back and forth on whether I want to pick up the all black one or the black with kind of like the white trimming. I think I'm leaning a little bit more towards the one with the white trimming. I don't know, something about just that contrast I think is really gorgeous, but I think it's a great jacket. I think it is something that I would have in my collection for a very, very long time. And again, because it doesn't have any crazy logos on it, none of like the big, you know, Letterman stitching, it's something that honestly is gonna be timeless and classic. All right, and for my last outerwear item for this luxury fall and winter wish list, it's gonna have to be the Prada puffer jacket, okay? Now, I go back and forth on this because I love a lot of Prada's ready-to-wear items. I love a lot of their outerwear items. The biggest thing for me that I toy with and going back and forth on is the nylon collection and if it makes sense for that kind of money. Because really, when you think about it, it's like, it's freaking nylon, right? It's nylon. So I was going back and forth. I saw the Prada puffer, the cropped jacket, and I fell in love. It was super cute. If you watch a lot of my videos when I am styling in like the more winter months, I love a good puffer coat. I think it's just really cute. It gives like a nice little street style twist to a lot of my outfits. Let me tell y'all, Prada is outrageous sometimes when I look at their prices. I think a lot of their puffers were upwards of like $2,200 to $2,500 for a jacket, and I was just like, for nylon? Listen, I know some of these companies you're like, oh, but luxury, baby, it's nylon. And I'm just like, I don't really know if I can justify that. So browsing and perusing, I came across the Prada puffer coat in this gorgeous like corduroy material, and baby, they had me sold. They had me sold. At that point, I said, you know what, the price tag here makes sense, because I just feel like that's gonna be a little bit more of a heavy duty coat and probably gonna keep me a little bit more warm. Granted, I'm sure the nylon one keeps you pretty warm, but just with that texture and the quality and the material of like the more corduroy one, again, it'll be here on screen, I fell in love with it. But that one I'm still noodling. I wanted to mention it because maybe some of you in the comments can let me know, have you been eyeing the Prada, you know, puffer jacket as well? What are your thoughts? Are you buying the nylon one? Have you purchased the nylon one? Do you love it? Was it worth it? Let me know down below. All right, and to round out this video, I wanted to mention some shoes and specifically boots. The first one is actually from Max Mara, and they are the wool knitted like over the knee. I think they actually almost even come up like thigh-high boots here on screen. I love these, and I blame you, Cassie. Cassie here on YouTube, I follow her on Instagram as well. She is like the luxury girl, okay? She is the person you need to be following. If you wanna know about luxury items, what's on the scene, what you should be buying, what you shouldn't be buying, all that good stuff around luxury fashion, Cassie is who you should be following. I'll have her YouTube linked down below. I'll have a couple of the fashion girlies linked down below that I always love following. But in particular with these boots, I heard them from Cassie when she featured them. And the moment that I saw them, I said, baby, add it to the wish list. Add it to the wish list, and it definitely might be one that I'm purchasing this winter season because they are stunning. They're classic, they are gorgeous, and I love the fact that the part that comes like over your leg is that knit material, because I think it will do a really good job of staying up on the leg. I don't really have like the thickest shape and the thickest, you know, frame, so oftentimes when I do find boots like that come up that high, I love the look, they just don't stay up on my leg. So I'm really thinking with that knit material, that wool knit that the Max Mara boots have, they'll stay over my knees pretty nicely. And again, I just think that's such a sexy, chic look. It's super fun and playful without having to be in a heel. The next two boots that I wanted to mention are from Balenciaga. Your girl loves Balenci. I love Balenciaga. They are also another one kind of like LOEWE that I feel like are killing it across the board. Accessories, ready to wear, shoes, bags, all that good stuff. So the first pair of boots from Balenciaga, listen, it's the Kaggle boots. It is. I don't know if it's Kaggle, not quite sure how you pronounce that properly, but it's those boots. I went back and forth on, again, if they're too trendy, but I am someone who likes to play with fashion. Sometimes I'm super girly, sometimes I'm really edgy, and I will say I kind of gravitate to the edgy side quite a bit. And baby, these Balenciaga boots are bad ass, okay? They are bad, baby. They bad as hell. And I know there are a lot of different dupes out there. I think I saw Ego Official had a dupe, or Look for Less. I know Amazon sells a pair. But with shoes, I feel like I'm gonna be wearing them pretty often, so I definitely want to make sure comfort is there, and I want the quality to be up to par. You know, if I'm buying a leather boot, I want it to look like a good leather boot, and I feel like these Balenciaga ones are pretty reasonably priced for what they are. And I just think they're fun. I think they're fun, but they're still wearable that I know I would get a lot of use out of them and I would definitely get my money's worth. I for sure would be purchasing them if I did get them in the black color. I just don't think any of the other colors are practical for me. I think they're stunning. I've seen a lot of the girls at all the different fashion weeks during fashion month style some of the other colors, and I think they're stunning. The kitten heel too, I know, which is crazy. I never thought I'd get to a place where like a smaller 2-inch heel would, you know, be something I'd be interested in, but something about the way Balenciaga does it is stunning. And that leads me to our final item, again, also from Balenciaga. It is their sock booty, okay? And specifically the sock booty that has the Balenciaga logo across like the toe. I saw Kim Kardashian, because y'all know I like to call her Kim, like she my friend in my head. But anyways, I saw Kim wearing these boots at a Rams game. She went to SoFi Stadium and was wearing them. And y'all know she's always dripped head to toe in Balenciaga, and they looked stunning. I love a good sock booty. I had a pair from Forever 21 years ago that I love and wore them into the ground. But of course, being Forever 21, they fell apart pretty quickly. So your girl's thinking she might just, you know, pull the trigger on the ones from Balenciaga. If I was to pick between the two boots from Balenciaga, I would definitely say I'd probably go towards the sock booty first, just because of the practicality and how often I will be able to wear those. But obviously everything on this list I love, I'm super into. I think they are just all stunning pieces and things that would be great in my fall and winter wardrobe. Am I pulling the trigger on all of them? Am I buying everything? Not quite yet, because like I said, your girl ain't balling like that, but there are definitely some items here that I want to, you know, add to my collection and my wardrobe fairly soon. But that is it, y'all. That's all I have for this video. I hope I wasn't rambling too long. I know it was quite a few items. I think I had like 10 to 12 pieces that I wanted to mention and really kind of explain why I was eyeing them, but hopefully you all enjoyed this video. I'm thinking if you are into it, this might be something that we do, you know, for the different seasons, fall and winter, and then spring and summer. So let me know down below if you liked this video. Are there any items that you've been eyeing as well? If you've purchased any of these items, let me know what your thoughts have been. How did they work out for you? And if there are any other pieces I should be eyeing and adding to my fall and winter wish list as well, let me know. But that's all I've got for you guys today. I love you all so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, y'all.
Can you see me a cleanest? Clothes when me rocking at the fucking realest.